Ofir.
Yeah.
Here we are in Las Vegas.
Here we are.
Black Hat.
Yeah.
Do you come to Black Hat often? Have you been?
No, it's my first time actually.
First? Look at that.
First time. Not in Vegas, but in Black Hat.
Okay. And your experience so far?
It was very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's good energy here.
Good energy, cybersecurity energy. I love that energy.
it's its own unique energy.
Yeah.
For sure. And you're with Apono. We're here at your booth.
Yeah, it's
Very cool.
nice.
Thanks for having us here.
Thank you for
It's
having
an
me.
Hawaiian name, Apono. What's the origin behind that?
Yeah, so actually, Apono is to approve in Hawaii, and I can make up some like different story, but the truth is that when you found a company, you need to find a name, and with the name, you need domain. So you start,
It's always the
try your luck to find the right name, and we just get Apono, and I did a mistake and misspelled the word, and I like, oh, we have domain. And it's actually in Hawaii, and it's to approve. We do access management. It's amazing, and
couldn't align better. Couldn't align any better.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
true.
cool. Well, tell me a bit about your role. I think you have your hands in a lot of fun stuff.
yeah, most of the time, like I'm the CTO of Apono, and one of the co-founder. We are two co-founder. Ron Carmel come from the security, he's our CEO, and me come from the tech world. So my fun is technology. My fun is changes in technology, and I think we have a lot of those
I
days.
think there might be one or two today. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard something like AI or something like
Yeah,
that.
that might be a big part of it. So give me kind of the background of Apono. Why was it founded? Who is it for?
Yeah. So Rom and I come from different worlds. I have experience in technology, infrastructure, security, infrastructure, DevOps, cloud, and
Traditional
Rom,
IT?
yeah, you can call it IT, like the IT that involved to cloud and DevOps world, right? Like where IT and development are actually mixed in those
Okay.
days. So I come from that background, and Rom come from cybersecurity, much deeper cybersecurity world, as you know.
A lot of research?
Yeah, research and other fun stuff. Let's call it
Which
like
you
it.
can disclose.
Yeah, I can, not through the. I can tell you later.
All right, I'll find this all.
And when we try to talk together about what we're going to build, how we're going to help that kind of like industry and businesses with something, I think it was very clear to us that we want to balance the business enablement, the ability to go forward, to create new cool stuff, with the security threat that we see that evolving all the time. And when we talk about that, we understood that, wait, from one end, I know from my experience, access management can slow you for doing what you need to do, right? Sometimes.
In what ways? What have you been seeing?
Yeah, I give you an example. Like from IT perspective or engineering perspective, sometimes you need to go and do something in the environment. So you need to go into your cloud infrastructure and change something. For doing that, you need permissions to be able to do that. And a lot of the time, those permissions are also create a huge risk in the environment. So people doesn't have those permissions on a day-to-day basis. So you find yourself getting a block from doing what you need and start doing kind of a research of how I get the right permission to do something in the environment. For the other end, cybersecurity departments are trying to compete that pace of vulnerabilities and try to find a way to protect the environment. And we all know that a lot of the cybersecurity attacks come from identity theft, and actually overprivileging the environment. The blast radius that you have from a single hack or attack that someone get your credential of the environment or something, it can be huge. And we saw that with a lot of the in the news, like the different attacks. So we knew that we want to balance that. How can we enable organization to be able to work well and not slowing the business, but keep the business protected?
Yeah,
And
a lot of time the actual business, not the company, but the business has or wants the control to set up new things and bring new people in and set up new systems and services that all require identities, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's not an IT only function, I guess is what I'm saying, especially when you're talking about applications and customers. So give me the quick overview of what it is you're doing with Apono then to do this enablement.
Yeah. So I think when we understand that problem, that friction between protecting your access management, protecting your permission in the environment, but enable the business to run, we understand that there is a lot of processes and a lot of different tools that you need to configure and a lot of humans in the loop. So we thought about how can we automate that and actually create different approach when you try to protect that kind of access management solution.
Right.
Different approach that enable the organization to move forward. And we find out with that zero standing privilege approach. When you come to a place when you say, I don't want any standing access in the environment, no one can do anything. Think about yourself in your house and all the doors are locked. You cannot go anywhere, right? So zero standing privilege approach saying you don't need to walk anywhere, so you don't need the doors to be open. But when you try, I have to go to the bathroom, right? When you try to do something and it makes sense from a high level overview, the door going to open for you. So you can now go to the bathroom because it's needed for you to go and do whatever you need in the bathroom. So saying in the technical world, in the infrastructure world, we create an environment that no one have access to anything unless he needed access based on the business context that exists. And then we open that access only to the right time and only the right access, right? By doing that, we enable the organization to move forward without slow the business, but we keep the business secure all the time because we have this high-level overview and we couple the business with the access management solution.
So one of the things that comes to mind when I think of Zero Trust, and I know we've made a lot of progress, and I expect you're going to help me demonstrate that you've made progress in this space as well, is there's always well, you just described it, it's the managed by exception. So and the exception is, it's closed until I need. Right? And so managing exceptions, if not managed well or defined well, can be challenging, perhaps complex. So how do you kind of help overcome some of those things that
so I
might
think,
come to mind for other people listening?
Yeah, for sure, and I think it's a common thing, right? Like you cannot expect the unexpected, right? Like you cannot predict the unpredictable. And this is what you see a lot of the time in nowadays. You don't know to plan to what you need because you don't know what you will need tomorrow. And it's even more true in the agentic AI agent, non-human identity world, right? Like you don't know what
you
is
cover
going
both, right? Human and non-human.
Human, non-human, and agents, right? That they are kind of like mix of human and non-human. So how Apono help with that is actually providing you different tools from discovery, ongoing discovery, that going to always do that kind of like matching between what you have and what you actually need, and to context-based policy building. So you can think about it as Apono take and give the context from the resource side and the asset side to understand what's going on in your environment. And then when you build a policy, it's dynamic policy that it fit to that context. So it's not a static policy. A lot of the time, the nowadays solution, they are static. So when you think about, what I need to give someone access, it's a static thinking. You think about what you need to give him right now or tomorrow. When you
that's where it gets hard to start managing it.
Exactly. When you start thinking about business context and build the policy based on that, so you don't think about what I need to give you right now. I think about what in my organization, based on what I'm trying to achieve, what people will need when they need it, right? And you can couple that to use cases in the environment. For example, production support. For example, customer support. For example, incidents that you have, right? You can couple that context with the policies, and we see that work in large scale, and also reduce the complexity of managing that in large scale.
Complexity introduces exposure as well. If you're not sure what is happening,
so true.
You leave it open again. So, describe to me a bit of where do I want to go here next. I'm thinking about this new solution. Where does it fit in? Do I have to rip and replace a bunch of stuff? Do I have to change my AD environment or the cloud? What does it look like? How does it fit in?
It's a good question. And this was something very important for us to build a solution that actually integrate and fit with your own tools. So we are not here to replace your identity provider or Active Directory. We actually play very nice with them. We integrate with them. We integrate with your governance tools. And we give you the ability to extend your security and risk awareness and control with Apono too. So Apono is integrate on top of your environment and give you that ability to create these guardrails and policies that do this thing that we just talked about. Open and close the doors, open and close permission based on your business need.
So I'm intrigued by this you didn't say GRC, but the governance piece.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about that, because I think that's maybe where some secret sauce sits in terms of what the risk or the governance is, and what I'm assuming the policies then are defined by?
Yeah, so I talk about more about like the identity governance, like the access management governance that you have in the environment, and how you integrate Apono in a way that actually play very nice with that. So a lot of the time organizations have their own identity hygiene and their own life cycle management. And you want to be able to connect with that and be able to interact based on those events. It's really important to be able to control the environment in some of a centralized way. With Apono, what we see a lot of is a decentralized deployment. A lot of the time you have decentralized environment. You have a lot of different areas in the environment you need to control, but you want to have like a one place to be able to control and centralize the visibility of that. So Apono help with that by interact based on the identity governance lifecycle triggers and also feedback with information. Anomalies, information about what's going on in the environment, what is actually active, to give you the ability to control that access over time.
And in terms of policies and effectively putting in the controls to manage the access, what about the monitoring, looking for anomalies or behavior? Is that something you look at as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's you cannot decouple those, right? So Apono give you the policy language, like we call it access flows, dynamic policies that enable your organization to be able to create that zero standing privilege approach. On top of that, we have an assessment layer, engine that help you to improve your environment, your posture all the time, right? Maybe you configure something, but you actually don't use it. Apono help you to shrink that and adapt that based on your real usage. And it's something very important if you want to improve your security over time. And on top of that, of course, we have an anomaly engine that give you the anomalies and the risk about what exactly is out of the ordinary to be able to monitor in your SOC tools and be able to track that if there is like a potential attacker or maybe misuse in the system.
So I heard this many times from many organizations and CISOs, kind of the rights creep, right? You grant rights, somebody changes roles, you grant more rights, you don't remove the others. It sounds like this is perfect for that too. Again, looking at what's appropriate, also what's being used or not. How do organizations pick that up?
I think this is like a lot of the value that you get when you have that kind of different approach managing access, right? In the static world, it's exactly like you said. It's going to change, and then you give something that you don't need anymore, and you found that overprivilege in your environment create more and more risk. And then when you try to reduce that, you have block from the engineering saying, "Oh, but we need everything," right? And it's a problem. This is where Apono come to place, right? When you have that life cycle of getting access, revoking access on the same mechanism, you actually can solve that in scale and be able to move forward without create that a lot of overprivilege over time. And we see that a key in this new AI agent world because you don't have a second chance. If you have outside threat that actually try to expose your identities, it's one thing. If you have an internal threat, not the employees, an AI agent internal threat that you cannot trust, you need to be able to control their privileges. You need to reduce the scope of the breach if there's something happening. And you need to do that in real time. And this is when Apono come to place also for the agent tool, to be able to control that over time, not giving admin and then think about, oh, now I can reduce that admin. Thinking from day zero about how to give minimal and extend based on need. So this is very useful for companies, for our customers to be able to do that in scale. Again, when you implement that, you actually can scale with that.
Right.
And the funny thing, I have a story about that. When you implement that in the organization, the first thing you will get is like, who moved my cheese, right? Oh, wow, it's different, right? In the second day or first day, depends how you want to call it, we found engineers actually love this idea that they in control on their access,
right.
and they can also not just getting access, they can revoke their own access. We actually have feature requests from customers, bring me the ability as an engineer to revoke my own access, and we're like, what you requesting?
Right.
It's so weird to hear that, but today a lot of our customers use this feature because it gives control to the engineer and give control, streamline the security and give control to the security team to be able to enforce that kind of guardrails.
It establishes a level of trust and creates a culture that they're caring about security as well.
Exactly.
We have a few minutes here, so I don't know if there's a specific use case that customers come to you with and they say, I'm seeing X, Y, and Z, I need your help to solve this problem, or if there's a business outcome you can share with our audience.
So I think we touch a lot, but if we think about the problem, we see a permission sprawl, access sprawl, and you want to be able to control that. A lot of the time we see organizations start and saying, I want to see what's going on, but they invest in a project, they see what's going on, and they don't have anything to do with that.
Right.
And then you get back to day zero, and after 3 months you have another project to see what's going on. So what my suggestion, the business outcome I see from that is looking at that as a one project. Of course you want to see what's going on, but you want the right strategy to solve it in the same time you see it.
Right.
And this is where Apono comes to place. We combine visibility and management in a way that give you the ability to solve that problem. And again, identity and access management is with us for a lot of time. So we don't have like, it's not a new problem that you don't know. You know this problem. But I encourage you to try this solution because we think we are onto something that actually can solve that problem in scale over time and give you that visibility and control in the same time.
Fantastic. Ofir, you're amazing.
Thank you very much. You're amazing.
Appreciate the work you're doing here. Obviously, identity is at the core, not just humans. I like how you describe the human, non-human, and the agent as a hybrid.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a lot more we could talk about there.
For sure.
Maybe we can have another chat. But I appreciate you. Thanks for bringing the Apono story to us here at Black Hat 2025. And everybody listening, watching, connect with Ofir, connect with Rome. I didn't get a chance to talk to Rome, but hopefully we'll meet him again at some point. Connect with the Apono team and look at your current identity state, which you probably already have some view of, but find a way to dynamically manage the rights that you want to grant as needed. So thanks everybody for listening, watching. itsbmagazine.com/BHUSA25 for all of our coverage, including this story and how to connect with the Apono team. Thank you.
Thank you very much.